On Midsummer's Eve, Selkie shed their pelts to become humans and join the John's Boy celebration. A crofter named Duncan falls in love with one of the Selkies and steals her pelt, forcing her to be his wife. The couple have a half-human, half-Selkie child named Ellen Jean. The other Selkies call out to Ellen Jean, leading her to discover her mother's hidden pelt. She also comes to realize that she's half-Selkie herself. A traveler boy named Tam confesses his feelings for her and asks her to dance with him at the celebration. She accepts, but makes him promise not to hurt the Selkies again. After returning her mother's pelt, Ellen Jean decides to join her mother, leaving the island just before the celebration and swimming out into the sea. 1 year later, she returns to her home with new knowledge about her Selkie family under the sea and gives Tam his promised dance. The central character of Selkie is Ellen Jean. She's half human and half Selkie, caught between two different worlds. She's an outcast on the island and a talented dancer, but only performs for her family. She's more compassionate and empathetic towards the Selkies compared to other residents on the island, and she's not a pushover and will stand up for both herself and others. After Ellen Jean leaves the island, her grandfather tells Tam, "Sometimes you have to lose something terrible dear to gain what you want most." This quote reflects Ellen Jean's choice to leave the island to explore herself, even if it means leaving her family and Tam behind. One difficult process of growing up is to let go of things we hold dear in order to embrace change. Selkie takes place in the Orkney Islands north of the coast of Scotland 100 years ago on Midsummer's Eve. The stage suggests a rocky seacoast surrounding the interior of an Orkney croft house. The flashback scene takes place 14 years prior to the main story. The main story takes place in 2 days, and the last scene takes place 1 year later.
Laurie Brooks has received a multitude of awards and grants, some including 3 Distinguished Play Awards and the Chorpenning Cup for a body of work from American Alliance for Theater and Education, or AATE, the New York Foundation for the Arts Grant, and the Irish Arts Council grant. A fun fact about Brooks is that she has the ability to blend elements of folklore and mythology with contemporary social issues. So in this play, she used the Scottish Selkie myth as a framework to explore modern themes of identity and belonging So she currently lives in New York with her 3 teenage daughters, but she has also taught and worked at New York University, the Artists in Residence for the Hype Institute at the Alley Theater in Houston, Texas, and has also worked in Kansas City, Arizona State.
The play opens with a flashback. This flashback not only gives important information regarding Selkies and the main character's backstory, but it also gives the audience the key pieces of information that Ellen Jean will have to figure out as the play goes on. In theater, realism is the portrayal of real life without painting it as grand or beautiful. Selkie explores themes of prejudice and ostracization in characters such as Ellen Jean, Tam, and the Selkies. Residents on the island hold them in such low regards, and we see how this affects them throughout the play.
So the protagonist of the story, Ellen Jean, is a teenager who she herself is dealing with issues of identity and belonging, so that really caters to the younger audience members that relate to that as well. And she also has moral dilemmas because she has the choice between land and sea. So from the slide before, David Wood's identity and belonging came into play, and now we have magic and fantasy. This provides a strong element of fantasy, which helps to aid in his point about children loving magical elements. There's also a lot of potential for visual representations of different. Appealing to Wood's ingredients of good children's theater, Selkie assists by giving appealing characters, as there are characters that are both human and Selkie, and it would offer a range of appealing personalities throughout the. Once again, following along with the ingredients of good children's theater, this set has the opportunity of being very bright and colorful, as well as the costumes, because it's in a coastal setting and there is the Selkie transformation. So there's the
One point from David Wood's How Children Differ that relates to Silkie is that children willingly enter into the spirit of the environment. The play invites the audience to get emotionally invested in its characters. Each of them have realistic struggles that certain kids can relate to, and their journeys could inspire them. Another point from David Wood's A Children's Audience Common Characteristics is that children don't like the lovey-dovey stuff. In Selkie, Ellen, Jean, and Tam's relationship is less about their attraction and more about how they challenge each other's negative preconceived notions of themselves.
So, as depicted here, Appalachian State University put on the Selkie play in fall of 2016. And in the process, I was not able to find any posters used to market the play. So, as you can see from the set design, everything is made out of cardboard or something two-dimensional instead of three-dimensional, and I really enjoy the way they did this because it just adds that characterization that's just youthful to the play. When it comes to the costumes that were worn by the characters, I think that they were right on par. There wasn't much fanciness that needed to go on, and these are just simple and to the point. Also, you can tell in the back is the lighthouse, and it's just a better picture of the two-dimensionality.